welcome one, welcome all to the Overwatch World Cup, coming at you live from Bangkok, Thailand. It is the last day. Everyone is hyped. I'm Mika, and this is Zoe, and this is just exciting.
We're so excited to be here. We had 2 amazing days of Overwatch where 6 teams were competing on this very stage. We have fantastic games coming out of Australia, Sweden, Denmark, Spain, the host country, Thailand, and China. So we are looking forward to more to come, really.
Absolutely, and these teams are fighting to get to the top spots at BlizzCon to go on to fight everybody else who has already made it there, but there's still one stage left coming up after this one. But before we can get into those 2 spots, let's see who will be battling it out on this very stage that we are standing on today to make it to those 2 spots that we mentioned before at BlizzCon. First up, we have Sweden going against Thailand. Then after that, Spain will be versing China. Then we have Denmark going against Sweden in the Battle of the Scandinavias. We have Australia going against China after that. And to round out the day, Spain will be taking on Thailand.
And as we said, we already had a lot of games on this stage, so let's take a look at the standings to see where the teams currently are. China, Australia, and Denmark already won 3 games, and they're leading this board. And Sweden currently in the middle, but still everything open for that team. They can still make it out of this group stage. However, Thailand as well as Spain, they can't advance anymore, but they can both play spoilers for all the teams today.
Absolutely. And remember that if you want to play along at home, tweet with the hashtag OWWC2018 and you could be featured in the fan polls brought to you by T-Mobile, which is
exactly. Yeah, we already had amazing tweets coming out from you guys over the last couple of days, so I'm looking forward to more to come. And Mika, I think it's time to see the teams.
Is it time to see the teams?
I think it is.
Well, I'm ready. The audience is ready. I know you at home are ready. So let's bring the noise and let's bring out the boys. Let's bring out Team Sweden and Team Thailand.
Those are the teams who will be opening up day number 3 of the Overwatch World Cup here in Bangkok, Thailand, and this is gonna be a good one.
Absolutely. So let's start the action right now, because I know everybody out there has been waiting, and kick it over to our casters, Wolf and Achilleos.
Ladies, guys, welcome back. We are at the final day. I'll go ahead and fix it. There we go. There we go. Can you hear me? Okay. We're at the final day of the Bangkok group stage here. And Thailand, as we mentioned before, or as they mentioned before, and Spain already going to be eliminated, but they can play spoiler. You kind of broke it down on Twitter. How about for the viewers here, Wolf, run through Sweden's chances of making it to BlizzCon?
They're not great, and they will have to defeat Thailand first. They'll have to defeat Denmark later. If China is able to defeat Spain, but then loses to Thailand, or then loses to Australia, then they will have no chance of advancing. So there's always that chance that happens. So I think given that China is massively favored over Spain comes in as the underdog, I think Sweden fans need to be rooting for Australia going into today's group stage. Not to mention that all those things, even if they do occur in that way, Sweden will have to win those matches with a high enough map differential to pass the teams that end up with that 3-2 scoreline. So basically Sweden's got to win both matches as well as possible with the highest map score potentially. And the starting match is going to be a tough one for them because both matches today are, but this one, you would think it was the easier one, quote unquote, because Thailand, is down at the bottom of the standings, but they nearly defeated China, and they have shown that at their greatest strength, they are quite strong. And they're starting Saiyajin God today over Apudo, actually, so a little bit of a different roster here.
Yeah, so they're going to be changing it up a little bit coming into the final day. You know, I want to give all the players an opportunity to play here on the stage in front of the home crowd, but things that you got to be concerned about if you're one of the Swedish players, if you're a fan of Sweden watching from home, is going to be Tita and also Patty, because they have been absolutely stellar. Kicking us off though on control, it's going to be Lijiang Tower.
Yep, Lijiang Tower, a map that really suits Sweden's playstyle. When we cast them yesterday, they ended up hitting us. One of those matchups that's a little bit poor for them. But this is a map where Reinhardt is very, very viable. It's a map where Reinforce can play. His comfort pick there along with the rest of the squad.
And if you're unfamiliar with control maps, let's go ahead and take a look at the explanation video.
This is Control. Two teams fight head-to-head for control of a common objective located in the middle of the map. To capture the objective, your team must stand within its range for a set amount of time. Capture percentage is continually given to whichever team is in control. The enemy will fight to clear your team off and capture the objective for themselves. Losing control will pause your progress. Now your opponent gains capture percentage. If both teams are on the objective when one of them reaches 99% capture, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until one of the teams is cleared off. The round ends when either team achieves 100% capture. Each round is played on one of the map's 3 unique areas. Control is best of 3, so whichever team captures 2 objectives wins.
All right, well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off the final day of the Overwatch World Cup here in Bangkok. Sweden versus Thailand. This one is for all of the marbles. As you mentioned, Wolf, Thailand already able to push the envelope.
Yeah.
Go to a Game 5, nearly pull off a reverse sweep just yesterday. Couldn't quite do it, but Sweden, they want to avoid that. They want a clean 4-0 to strengthen their chances of making it to BlizzCon.
Yeah, so Thailand really is just fighting for these fans you see down in your screen here that have woken up early in the morning. It's actually 10 a.m. in Thailand time right now, so coming in early on a Sunday morning to check out this high-level play, want to see their team succeed. For Sweden, everything's on the line. They won't be running, however, reinforced on the Reinhardt to start things off. They will be running a very sustainable comp, Lucio Moira, but they're trying to keep this Winston alive to get a fast primal with all that healing.
Well, already straight up into the front, both these teams going to be meeting just past the bridges. For now, heading back, but Ludi actually goes forward, finds the pick off there onto Mickey. Get him down, opening things up for Sweden as they try to push forward, but Chips will also be traded out. Patty finding that hit, Nothing is going to get slept down. No one really there to pick up the pieces and try to get the kill onto the Sombra, so he will be able to bounce out for the moment, but still, it's going to be a lot of kills coming in for the side of Thailand as a point unlocks, and they will be able to lock it in.
Sayajin God trying to pilot form his way back into a mech here, and I think he will be able to do so. No one to contest him at the moment. It's ticking up for Thailand, which is huge. They also have the advantage in terms of Primal Rage ever so slightly, and that comes back to the early pick there onto the supports of Sweden. And Tavik's only halfway to that EMP. It's going to be very difficult for Sweden to get a fast cap here on this point without those support ultimates, without that EMP. And in fact, Tavik, knowing this, is just going to swap over to the Brigida to try to counter the sked you were saying from Potty.
All right. Sweden going to be going for the backdoor approach, wrapping around. Thailand do see this, so they will just be joining up on the point. Mickey with the shield ready to go. Waiting to bash anyone who comes around that corner, and it's going to be Tavik. He gets taken down right off the bat as the Nano gets tossed in onto the Brigida. Mickey's still just going to be swinging away, trying to get the break onto the mech here, and Manhattan will get knocked out. Will go up the side of the map, does not want to commit. That self-destruct, so we'll just be holding on to that. But as they try to get in, Sweden just get cut down one after the other.
And that's all you need. All you need is that one pick onto the Brigida at the beginning. And Mickey,
Stagger here.
The first person to play Brigida in Overwatch League to a high level with great success on Dallas Fuel, just comes up, showcases his capabilities here, peeks around the corner, gets that opening pick onto Tavik. Look at that, he's got nearly a rally. Tavik, only 26%.
Oh, that's going to be the blade coming down the back. He's going to get shut out Sharp. Cuts him right out of the fight. At the same time, will be exchanged, and now Sharp will go down, so it's still going to be Thailand maintaining control now at 80%, still picking up kills. Sweden, will they be able to recuperate here, gather back together, and make it over to the point in time to try to contest this?
Well, it's going to be pretty unlikely. They have a slew of ultimates to use here. The problem is a rally has just been executed here for Mickey. They have the ability to burst heal Titawatt with that now. In fact, they're going to use it right now.
Deadeye coming down, not going to find anything, and Chip's going to be the first one to drop. Right at the start of the fight, Titawatt picking that one up. Now it's going to be a sound barrier in from Thailand, pushing forward, maintaining control over the bridge. The truck going to be tossed in by Medicine looking for a pick, but he's not going to find it. And now Ludi is also going to be going down. To tie in 10% away from that Transcendence. Desperately needs to get over onto the point. But Thailand fighting tooth and nail, and they're shutting them down. They're making Sharp. Both going to be falling. He's trying to build up for another last-second Dragon Blade, but I don't think he's going to need it. Chips is gone. Medicine is gone. Sweden getting stomped out of this first point here on Lijiang Tower. That's going to be Gardens going the way of Thailand.
And Sweden just has total control of this map, utilizing the first comp they started with, meaning they had ult advantages the entire game because they didn't have to swap heroes. That opening pick for Mickey onto Tavic's late Brigitte, where he had only just started the ultimate, meant that they could just bully, reinforce Titawat on the Winston, having that Primal Rage earlier, having that earlier Nano Boost when he didn't have Primal, when Reinforce did. When the Nano Boost came through there from Panties, he was able to instantly blow up Chip's high end. And once you have half of your support line gone, you can't really trade up when your opponent has an advantage of already controlling the point. So, you know, it just ended up being that Thailand was running the better comp to start with, and despite Sharp's best efforts on the McCree to try to burst through the tank line, it did not work out. Now we're going to see Reinforce on his Reinhardt with Sharp's Zarya to back him up. Tavik running the Doomfist as well, mirroring what Madifan's got here.
Okay. Here's coming out. See how this one's going to break down. Rock Punch not going to get the connection, but the uppercut does, and Tavik's going to go down. Sleep connects in on the Madipan, but still going to get woken up. Will be all right. Reinforce finding one. Traded back, but now Ludi's going to fall. Support suffering heavily here on the side of Sweden. His chip tie-in will go down as well. And that is going to be another one fight for Thailand. They look to lock down the point first yet again.
And yet again, Tavik is the first to fall. Padifan leads ult charge 50% here. Thailand is fighting for nothing but pride in this series, and it feels bad to be a Swedish fan when you're just being defeated by better mechanics here from Team Time with the crowd backing them. Choke point here, controlled by Titawat with the Shatter.
Sun coming down, but it's going to be that massive Shatter coming through for Titawat. He's not going to lock down Reinforce, but doesn't really matter because the kills are still coming through. Honeypot finds one there onto the Vic yet again. Titawat overextending a little bit will get punished, but it's still wildly a one fight here for Thailand.
And this is why this comp is so strong on this map. If you win the first point, you do get to control this choke point. So difficult for Sweden to break through. They were trying so much to use that stun to get in there, displace Titawat and then burst him down, but it didn't work out that way. Titawat had control of that doorway. Now they can back off and play around the Graviton and Meteor Strike they currently have held.
Yeah, we might be seeing a Space Jam coming through here, Wolf. Reinforce, holding the Shatter, looking for an opportunity. Oh no, throws it straight, not into only a Zarya bubble, but also the shield of Titawat. Now the Rocket Punch comes in, Reinforce going to be going down. Honeypot goes up for another one, finds Sharp. The tank line going to be busted here. And Benfen also gets popped out. Thailand can this off the 100-0 to kick off a win on Lijiang Tower.
It's looking tragic for Sweden here. They just don't have ultimates to lead in. Reinforce dropping that Shadow right into a barrier, hitting nothing there. That was the biggest tool they had to try to trade up here. And Thailand's got the big six-pack lead.
There we go. That's going to be the grab coming down. He strikes up into the air. But they don't even really need it. Medicine just dumps the bomb. Manages to find two, but yeah. Not sure that's really going to be doing you that many favors. I think comes back down with his own Meteor Strike, does manage to drop Panties, but other than that, Thailand maintain control at 85%.
Well, I mean, Thailand, they have a Shatter to control that choke again. It looks like they're just going to try to operate on buying time here. The faster response coming through from Sweden. Titawat steps off the point here. There's the Shatter.
Shatter coming down, managed to find Chip, one of the only ones with Sound Barrier, really helping to keep Sweden in this fight. Can they turn this around? Can they get the flip? They nearly have it here at the moment. The Thailand's operating in onto the point. Now it's 99%. So the OT will be rolling through. Sweden have to stay in the fight, but Ludi is going to be the first one to fall, so Rocket Punch takes him down. Now Dawn Surge coming through from the side of Sharp, tosses that one in, but they only managed to find the Doomfist. Now Reinforced Chips to Vic. They're all dropping like flies as Thailand looks to close out Lijiang Tower here with a 2-0, starting off the series 1-up.
Two matches that were completely one-sided, 100-0. And even in moments where Sweden had ult advantage, the coordination just was not able to match that of Thailand. Mickey's Brigitte, I think, is the big key here in this first map. His ability to shut down Tavik on the first set, then moving into Control Tower, having that burst heal available to make sure the tank line survived when the ultimates of Sweden came down. And you know, you could see Mickey here with his teammates. Obviously, Mickey, the face of positivity in Overwatch. They're having a great time.
In life.
Yeah, and they're having a great time playing in front of this Thai crowd here.
They're having fusion. All right.
There you go. And
Monty and Doa did it first.
Yeah, they did. They were the first people to do that ever in the world.
Yeah.
In the Apex Season 2 finals. But, actually, that was Season 1. Season 1, yeah.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. But
Continue your play.
Sweden is in trouble. And if we're seeing play like this on Control, especially a map type like Lijiang that suits their playstyle, then I worry for what the future is going to hold as we go into the rest of these maps, because we already know Thailand can run dive really well. And if they decide to sub Laputo back in, Sombra is very much a strong option for them. So it's not looking good if you're a Sweden fan right now.
It's very much not, because not only do they have to win these 2 matches, and this is on paper the easier one because Denmark has been looking pretty hot. Yeah. But if they have to win both matches and every single map counts as they try to surpass either China or Australia, like you said, if China does take down Spain, which is an anticipated result, then they have to hope and pray that Australia cannot pick up the win. They are going to be the biggest Chinese fans in the world here is Sweden. But I don't know. This is a really rough start. We'll see what their map selection is going to be as we get ready to dive into Hybrid. Let's go ahead and take a look. If you're unfamiliar with Hybrid, how it plays. As I throw a little bit too early. It's going to be Hollywood.
It's going to be Hollywood.
So let's talk about what map it is, and then we'll talk about how it's played.
Well, I'll talk about it very briefly. It's the first time that I can think of that we've actually seen Hollywood. And it's interesting because it's normally a map that's dominated by snipers during the street phase. So this is not something that Sweden is known for at all. So it's a bit of a surprising pick here.
Well, maybe going to be trying something different here. This time around, we saw them move away from the GOATS comp on Kings Row. But Hollywood going to be locked in here for this squad. Let's see how it's going to play out.
This is Hybrid. 2 teams face off as either defenders or attackers. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to first capture a payload and then escort it along a set path containing 2 checkpoints. To capture the payload, the attackers need to stand within its range for a set amount of time. Defenders can delay capture progress by also standing in range. The attackers must work together to clear away the defenders. If successful, they score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. The payload only moves forward when an attacker stands near it. Defenders can delay the payload's movement by standing nearby. To get moving again, the attackers must clear away the defenders by force. If even one attacker is capturing the objective or on the payload when the time runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until the attackers are either cleared away or they gain more time by reaching a checkpoint. Every time the payload reaches a checkpoint, the attackers score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. The round ends when the payload reaches the destination or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points and escorts the payload farthest wins.
All right, here we are. Hollywood, a map that has really been eluding us in the World Cup.
Yep, this will be our first time for this qualifier here in Bangkok on the final day. And it will be Sweden defending first, Thailand taking the attack approach here. So it's a map where you can run Reinhardt Zarya very well in the choke. And it's very easy to operate that around either the staircase that you can see the left side of your screen or kind of where Sharp is standing there with Ludi. There's a lot of really good places to pin as Reinhardt, and as well as obviously during the enemy approach you can hit big fire strikes, build up that grab, do massive damage, build your shatter as well. You're not going to be building a grab with fire strikes, not usually, but...
that'd be a bit weird.
Yeah. So for Thailand, they're putting Patipan actually on the Sombra, it looks like, for the attack here. And it can be very powerful against the comp that Sweden is running, especially if they can get that hack onto the Reinhardt. You could do so much damage in those small interims.
This also could just be a scouting run.
Could be as well,
a lot of people are still hanging back. So Patty is going to be pushing forward here, trying to see what Sweden's operating with.
Yeah, it's been more...
Still playing a bit far forward. Not getting spotted out yet, but now will be popped up, and here we go.
Yeah, I'm just going to swap it. It's been more meta recently to actually run the Sombra with it, but he's just going to counter by making the Pharah pick very powerful here, avoiding reinforces barriers and trying to attack the sky. However, fairly weak on this map unless everyone's far forward like this.
Yeah, already some decent hits coming through. Orbound from Chip is going to be helping to top them up. Force falling down to about half HP with Max is going to be able to back him up, and he's building up very rapidly for that first Earth Shatter, almost at 80% here at the moment. And pushes over the top, layering these rockets in, nearly having a barrage of his own.
Nice knock.
Coming down, yeah, gonna separate them here. Reinforce, gonna get slipped up. Not gonna be getting the kill, but Body comes in, and he's gonna find three, popping Medicine out of that mech, setting up Mickey to get the final blow. Team Wipe effectively coming through. There it is, as chips will go down. Thailand played that one nice and slowly. They wait for an opening, they take it, and now Sweden give up point A.
And they have full armor as well from Mickey's rally. So really nice control there. The concussive mine splitting the team in half. All of that disruption from Hadiban gives Saya Jingod, long name there, Saya Jingod, the faster grab. And they're just going to try to contest it so late.
Yeah, they tried to go for this one, but it's already been locked down. We're ready to move the payload. Rod coming in, tossing that nano boost to help keep Hadi alive. As he pushes forward, looking for some extra kills. Really good forward play here from Sweden. This could cost them quite a bit of distance. Thailand can clean this up quickly.
Oh, it certainly will. This is a huge mistake to engage like this.
Ludi, one more shot would take him down. Have to go for the reload. Point blank range here, but it's actually going to be Patty picking up that kill. Now they will go ahead, start moving up the cart. See if Sweden is going to be swapping up this comp. That would explain the very far forward push, or they just really misinterpreted how much time they had to contest that.
If they were going to swap, then this ends up making a lot of sense because you could just put Reinforce on the Winston, maybe try to control the high ground, drop down onto the cart, etc. But using those ultimates like that, obviously after the cart had already been captured, just very expensive. They're sticking with the Rhine though.
Coming down, gonna lock them in here. God nearly has his own, but oh, there it is! The bomb comes out, Menton picks up three off the back of the grab. A nice little turnaround here from Sweden, shutting down Thailand on the push for now.
Yep, looks like Thailand's going to start to swap their composition.
They're going to try to the spawn camp, it would seem.
Yep, that's the idea here. And they are building a lot of overcharge to reinforce. He almost has that shatter.
And comes down to Peter Watt, but not really going to be finding much. 15 minutes to take him down, but Adi is trying to turn it around. Triple kill coming through off the back of the barrage. Vic manages to pick one up there onto Mickey. 3 members alive on the side of Thailand. As the Vic will get bopped around, and also sitting here at the moment, but he is going to be the lone member of Sweden playing this far forward, trying to get the hit. Will be able to take down the Farah. The back is going to get broken. Thailand can try to regroup and get in onto the cart.
And the cart does finally start rolling forward. Sweden bought some time. They are going to swap Reinforce now onto the Winston, and things start to normalize here a little bit, but you always run the risk of losing so much distance, as you can see now, what they are losing when you do commit to that spawn camp. Bought some time, but don't know if it's actually worth it at the end of the day. Thailand has Polygon now here controlling this high ground, as Sharp will be low ground, so there's no way to shut this down just yet. They have to dive.
Yeah, they push their way up to the top, reinforcing a lot of damage off the bubble. You know what, going to be joining him on the ground. He's going to finish off the enemy Winston, but they're not going to be able to pop up over the top. Looking for the hit. Reinforce comes in from behind, smacks him down, finds the kill, shutting out the Widow.
It's a new take on dive when the dive is half for free. There's damage there from range, plus the dive coming through from Reinforce, because otherwise Mountain has not really been committing up onto those high grounds. It's just been Reinforce trying to force him into line of sight, and they will aggressively chase to get some stagger kills. And finally, for the first time in the series, Sweden is starting to really get some momentum and some control here in this map. Sayajin God will swap over to that Diva.
Yeah, they're going back over to the 3-3 actually. So Thailand's going to be abandoning the Widow Winston. Deadeye coming in from the backside.
Total flank here.
And will manage to take it. Finds that nice shot coming through. Charge coming down. Not going to be getting much there is Tidawat. As they just go ahead and scoop up the kill. So Sweden able to stabilize, able to play this far forward and trying to execute this spawn camp.
This is not really something that you ever really see in top tier Overwatch. You don't really operate around this point after the cart has been captured.
So what are you saying here, Wolf?
Well, I'm saying proxy between the cart and the spawn. So Thailand is not prepared for flanks like that. They're not prepared for Deadeyes to come out that angle. It's just not something you think about in pro Overwatch very often. So it's kind of a unique thing that Sweden is doing right now, and it's working quite well for them. Chips is holding onto that extra armor and shields at the moment. Thailand finally regains control of this doorway, but they're taking so much damage on the approach.
Yeah, Blackman coming down. It's going to be shield bash in on the Shark. He falls low. He goes down. Able to find the killing blow. See here, Transcendent down from Chips, trying to keep everybody topped up, but not really in range with the Vic, so he will be going down right as that rally becomes available. Chips trying to fight off against the high energy Zarya. Not really going to be going his way, so he does fall. Same is going to be said here for Reinforced, you would expect, but no, the Primal Rage will be coming out. In the meantime, the cart is moving, and it's really only Madison trying to contest this one. Reinforced comes back into the side, just being an absolute nuisance to the members of Team Thailand. They should be able to deal with him as the reinforcements get ready to come through from Sweden, but now the cart is going to be pushing forward yet again.
With the rally plus grab and what will be in the longer fight a shatter here, ready for contention. I really like the positioning of Thailand right now. Reinforced going to go back onto the Rhine here, looking for potentially a big charge. He's so late here onto the point. Gets blocked out by Mickey as well.
So fast break out and on to
Nice
Reinforced
flank
there.
though.
Jedi coming out this time for Sharp, not going to be finding any pickoffs. The sound barrier going to be tossed in by Rocket as he tries to take a fight over to the side of Sweden. Vic is going to be the first one to go down. Shatter, a long one, drops it down, but not going to be finding anything. Titawat can't get the hits. Still have the man advantage here at the moment. Reinforced falling low, get pinned, get taken down. But Titawat from the side, flat tank comes in and Sharp manages to cut him out of the fight. He will be traded out, 2 men dead on the side of Sweden as Thailand tries to put this one into point B in OT, just 1 meter away. In Thailand, they have 5 members still here, and they're still taking names on the side of Sweden. Should be able to get this cap.
Yeah, Reinforced is going to get staggered a little bit here. No time to buy at this point when you're already in overtime. Thai crowd goes nuts here as they are able to finally regain control of this map, ult advantage, etc. After what was a really interesting spawn camp from Sweden, controlling there with the Sharp flank. Sharp, excuse me, going to go back over to the Zarya now. As Reinforced does hold that shadow, but it's an open area here, one of the worst places to try to make a shadow happen, especially against a team that knows you're holding it. They're just going to play around it. Another rally up here for Mickey.
Playing very far forward, the Graviton Surge is going to be coming down. Pin goes through. Be finding anything inside. Just got get locked down by that Earth Shatter. The struck down from Madison, not going to find any kills. Buys a little bit of space. Zones Thailand back behind the cart, but now they are on the offensive yet again, pushing forward, finding the kill as the Vic goes down, straight into the back of Madison, burning him out of that mech. His body completely unhindered here as this Zarya, they wipe him out, they push the cart forward, now rounding the final corner.
And you know, Reinforced hits another shatter into one of Titawat's barriers. That was the big ultimate that they had. He built a lot of charge afterwards, so he's still halfway to one right now, but when you had an overtime hold on B, you don't expect right afterwards it's such a free push towards completion. Reinforced up in the front right now, looking to build that final 20%.
Looking for the pin. Go ahead, match, head to head. They both hit the ground. Titawat, however, is going to be the one falling to pick up the kill. Now
there's
with no barrier, the shatter comes in. They lock down both supports just behind the cart. They take them out. Graviton Surge is going to be coming down as they try to turn this one around. Thailand fighting with just a few members left up here at the cart with no time remaining in the clock. Eva Bomb comes up, comes back down. Sajin God going to get taken out. Mickey hovering here by himself. The rest of the squad trying to rejoin as Graviton Surge comes in, but they are contesting the point here at the moment.
Perfect barrier from Rocket keeps them all alive. They got one more shot at this, but the spawn advantage is for Sweden.
And now he's going to go down though, and Titawat is also going to fall. They do not have a tank as they try to wait for Sajin God to rejoin, but he is the only one alive at the moment. Cannot get close enough. Sweden will be able to stop the push.
They do stop the push off the back of Reinforce's first big shatter this series. Gets that angle there after Titawat was focused down. So nice focus fire by Sweden when Titawat went in for that charge during that moment where they collided into each other. That was, I think, the biggest mistake Thailand made on the push, because when Titawat got knocked down, he can't place his barrier. He's just focused down. Reinforced, after standing back up on the Rhine, is able to get that last bit of shatter, and it's a fat one. So from then on, obviously Sweden had spawn advantage and was able to just run back to the cart to defend faster. Rocket had a nice sound barrier at the last second to look for Titawat's rejoining and getting a Earth Shatter himself, but it didn't work out that way. Still, a bit of a rocky point A for Sweden's defense. We'll have to hope the attack is much better, or Thailand may simply be able to full hold them here. It's rare to say something like that when when you watch the attacking team first fail to get completion, and you still feel like the next team is at a disadvantage. You feel like, well, they prevented completion, so they must be advantaged, right? But I think with how Sweden is playing right now around A, I kind of like Thailand's chances to defend, or at least very significantly remove that time bank.
Well, we'll see what they're going to pull off for us. Thailand has shown us some unique comps. Think back to Temple of Anubis just from yesterday. Running that triple tank.
Yeah.
Really helped them claw those wins back in and extend that series. Sweden, however, going to be hovering that 3-3 at the start to Vic, with the Sombra almost certainly just going to be as a scouting mission.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen some Sombra used actually committed to in this fight in this meta, but it's pretty rare. You know, the scout is more likely going to be the case. The main tank Wrecking Ball here that Titawat is running is very powerful against what Sweden will run, the Goats, once they check this. Don't think they'll be running the bar that Thailand ran. So it could disrupt this slow-moving, tanky composition.
But if they see the Wrecking Ball and they decide to keep the Sombra, that could turn things around.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean,
Yep.
the hack
And
can't really eliminate
It
that.
seems like that's going to be the play here. As soon as he sees it, he's going to be sticking in, not going to be translocating back. Looking for the hack. Throw one down there on the body, and the Doomfist also another great target. They managed to take him down. There's going to be two Swift kills traded back here by Thailand. Ludi and Sharp Close going to be falling, now Reinforced joining them in the grave. Legend Gone, got to be taken out. Panties on fire. Will be going low, as is Rocket. As Sweden keeps playing forward. Vic's going to get hacked now. Spraying away is to Vic. Knows that there's no defensive matrix to mitigate this damage coming out. They will be able to get the break on that mech. Rocket pushes forward. Does the same here with the help of Panties against Mannequin.
Yep, they actually are able to bring this back. Incredible that Thailand is able to hold on through Mickey and Rocket, buying so much time for the respawns to come through. Absolutely nuts stall. Tavic's about to have an EMP though. It's just going to be a few left clicks before he's got it ready. Titawat knows where he is. He's definitely seen him here. Okay, perhaps not actually. Here's the EMP.
Yeah, tosses that one down. The pin comes in. Titawat's going to be gone right off the bat now. Manhattan with the Diva Bomb manages to get rid of Panties, and Mickey is also dead. 3 members down. Here is Thailand. As the ticks start rolling through for Sweden. Second one going to be gained. Patty completely visible here. She's going to get taken down. And this should be very nice and fast caps coming in from Sweden. I don't think we're going to be seeing the spawn camp shenanigans from Thailand.
Nope, and this is, you know, fierce allay, at least for me, and I think the fans of Sweden about that A attack there. They handled it so well with Tavic on the Sombra. And now Mickey and Thailand are just going to try to control the high ground because they're operating on Bodyclown's Widow here. He switched off the Sombra. And they do have a Dragon Blade, a Nano Blade even, available. So Sweden needs to be careful because vision advantage and high ground control go to Thailand at the moment.
Oh, Mickey coming down off the top will get eliminated here. And a blade's coming out, but that's going to be a stun instantly coming down on the side. He's got it to try to finish him off. Still going to be alive. Still gets swiped a couple of times here. In the meantime, going to be body up top.
Never
shots
underestimate
in
the
on
high
the
ground.
Reinforced, taking him down.
It's so powerful, you know, you get a shatter, you shut down the blade, but you still have dealt with the Widow. And look, now he can just completely backdoor the supports.
Finally gets that shot. Ludi going to fall. The cart's still moving up, however. Well, Putty not really going to be in a position to try to stop that from happening as he pops at the top. Manhattan's ready for him, so we'll be able to take him out with the rockets.
And for the first time, Sweden will now be comfortable moving forward, knowing there's no headshots coming from above. They don't have big dive for this comp. All they have is Diva for mobility. So it's, and I guess Sombra as well. So it's breath of fresh air here now as they move the cart forward. But Titawat's ready to drop down. He has mines available. And Sweden needs to be aware of this. Here they come.
Straight down here onto the cart. He's going to be looking for Ludi. Pops him up into the air. Channel that sound barrier. Does manage to get it off in time and does manage to stay alive. In the meantime, going to be taken down by Jin God. Anyone back, helping keep that cart moving. As the Vic looks for an opportunity to toss out this EMP. And he throws the bomb, gets hit instantly, and now Body's going to be eliminated. Manson hounding down that Widowmaker. The other sniper going to be falling. Pennies is also going to be eliminated. No supports available here in Thailand. Basically no one around. An effective team wipe comes through. That's going to be a point B cap here for Sweden.
Yeah, really well played around the EMP. Tavic just finding that opening through the high ground despite Rocket trying to avoid that. He does get caught. And now we're getting staggered kills here as Rocket tried to come in a little bit too early. I think Thailand needs to be careful about trying to stagger these payloads and try to buy a little bit of time because it's just not realistic in these moments to stop contention, or to contest to stop completion of B. So Rocket died there, could have been a huge, nasty stagger. Still a free push right now for Thailand as they switch the composition up, moving away from the Widow. The Nano Blade is ready, but it's so weak against the composition that Sweden is running, especially if Reinforced can hit that shatter again.
Yep. They need this to pop up, but here's drawn out for an opportunity. Back over. Target bubble coming down, helps to keep Reinforced alive. Sajin got falling way too low. Reinforced gets a pin there on the Titawat. They have to peel back, so another Nano Blade that is not going to net anything here for Thailand. The cart pushing forward Sweden with 3.5 minutes to tie up this series 1-1. The victory on Hollywood. Mickey gets the heck out of there, still falling low. Loses the mech all the same. Manhattan is there for the chase. Start getting ready to move up. You know what? He's spooked away. He's down below half HP. They need to heal him up. They need to go ahead and focus fire him here with these heals, but it's not going to happen. Reinforce kills 2 with the pin. The cart just strolls right in very casually. So that Reinforce is feeling pretty good about that one.
They will win the map. They will tie us up 1-1 heading into halftime. And I think a lot of this is Thailand's overextensions on defense. They had a great setup with Titawat on the wrecking ball for the A defense. But in the streets phase, despite a few heads ruining the first push of Sweden with Pativan there on that high ground on the Widow, they continued to run the stubborn Genji dive comp. They tried to run the nano blades to get into the backline and get those kills, but when you're running against goats, you could get pinned, you could get shattered, and there's so much sustainability, so it's tough to kill these tanks with a Dragon Blade, and the supports are well positioned. So, you know, it didn't really end up being the right composition in the long run there for Team Thailand, and players like Rocket kind of staggering their deaths moving forward didn't give them any favors either.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a victory on their map selection for Team Sweden. Now we'll go back into the hands of Thailand, see what they're going to pick for Assault, see if they can pick up a win. Maybe we can just go 1-1 all the way to Game 5, back and forth, to really keep this on a knife's edge for Sweden. I think that would be absolutely wonderful. But for now, we will be tied up 1-1. So Sweden are keeping their hopes alive. But they want the rest of this series to be clean to improve their chances of making it to BlizzCon. Guys, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the rest of this series. Don't go anywhere because you clearly don't want to miss it. It's already been so damn good.
The Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC of the Overwatch World Cup, and by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
Hey, Doa, thanks for the ride.
No problem.
I've got something you've got to hear. This car has a pretty good sound system, right?
Yeah, the best.
Excellent, because we're going to need to hear the whole range to really appreciate this. It's a thing of beauty. You ready?
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
This is Monte Cristo, and today we're going to take a look at a strategic breakdown of the latest match between the Los Angeles Gladiators and the Seoul Dynasty.
Of all
right off the bat, we're going to get a couple of environmental kills. But
oh, I hear it.
At the
I feel like I've heard this one before.
It's like honey dripping into your ears, all of the treble and the bass working together in perfect harmony.
Oh, it's a thing of beauty.
It's like an ancient Norse deity decided to open his mouth and... You just don't appreciate art.
That's it. That is definitely it.
Shamelessly original, the Toyota CHR. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're currently halfway through this series. Sweden versus Thailand, all tied up 1-1. Sweden able to get the victory there on Hollywood. First time that we're seeing that. Really, maybe even just in the 2018 World Cup. It has not been a very popular pick for hybrid.
Yeah.
Been seeing a lot of Kings Row, some Nambani at the beginning of the stage here. So I'm very grateful to have a little bit more variety going through with that Hollywood pick.
You could see why it's not picked too often, because a lot of teams like to run dive on it. Historically in the past, we see Genji Tracer there, right? Widow controlling the high ground, and that's how it's been in the new sniper meta. But when you're trying to run Nano Blades into a more GOATS-oriented, or GOATS-themed comp, I should say, like Sweden was running, you know, despite Panny trying so hard to keep the Genji alive there with just repeated left clicks to heal him. It's crazy how he didn't die in those fights.
He kept him alive.
Yeah, he kept him alive, but he wasn't doing damage. So,
yeah.
you know, the fact that he was alive was practically irrelevant in some of those fights. So Sweden comes through with a hard victory, a big statement here, a massive time bank as well for their completion to win the map. So they just stomped Hollywood there on the attack. The defense was, you know, not as clean, but they're coming back in the series. They have momentum. You mentioned right before we went into halftime that Reinforced was looking super pumped, and I think he is one of those players that's very momentum-based. We saw yesterday in their victory against Spain that he was yelling and jumping up and down, right? And that's the kind of energy I think that can really bring you into a series, especially when you're the team that's, you know, the crowd is not cheering for you, right? They're playing against the home team here, so you have that sort of good mindset. You're excited. You're in a good mentality. After a win like this, it can really swing the morale of the team back around.
Yeah, I mean, he if you can get Reinforced to that point where he's just jumping out of his chair, excited, that energy should be infectious for the rest of the squad, and it should, you know, help lift their spirits. And that's exactly what they needed. They needed a turnaround moment after losing Lijiang Tower to Thailand. But now it's going to be Thailand's map pick. So we'll see if they can engineer another victory, take the lead, move to match point. And it's going to be Temple of Anubis. So we already kind of mentioned this in the cast, that they created a very unique comp on their defense on Temple of Anubis that worked very well for them.
That's right. We saw the triple tank, really odd composition without a Reinhardt or a Winston. And it's a very powerful map for dive. So good defense for Thailand, and the attack, of course, with their Genji Sombra dive can be strong here as well.
Well, Temple of Anubis here for the third map. If you're unfamiliar with Assault, let's go ahead and take a look at how it can all play out.
This is Assault. Two teams face off as either defenders or attackers. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to capture two objectives. First A, and then B. To capture an objective, the attackers need to stand within its range for a set amount of time. Defenders can delay capture progress by also standing in range. To resume capture, the attackers must force the defenders off the objective by any means necessary. If successful, they score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. Now the fight moves to objective B. If even one attacker is on an objective when the clock runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until either team is cleared away. The round ends when the attackers capture both objectives, or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points wins.
All right, here we go. Temple of Anubis. One of these teams going to be moving to match point. Thailand trying to get a victory here in front of the home crowd. Sweden trying to advance to BlizzCon.
That's right. This is the first of two matches they will have to win. They'll have to defeat Denmark, and even that will not guarantee their spot at BlizzCon. Winning this map and the next would give them the best possible score remaining for this. If they end up winning it in the game 5, they'll only get 1 point a map differential. Talking about this map, we've seen a lot of different strategies from Thailand, as you've mentioned already. Unique triple tank defense comps, but in this match, they're going to go back to standard. Run the Ana Mercy support setup for the Orisa Junkrat. Patifon going to be here for snipe damage, and Junkrat's here to control the choke points, give some extra peel for this technically double sniper composition. Sweden going to have a rough time trying to run goats. Doesn't look like that is the plan. They're going to be showing us an older school comp here with the Reaper. Reaper very powerful on B, and we saw Tavik try to run it yesterday. It's going to be sharp, though, with this Reinhardt Sombra. I think the Sombra may just be for the scout again, as we mentioned a few times, but Kind of a weird one here that we're seeing from Sweden.
It is. Looks like Tvik gonna be jumping back.
Genji, okay.
coming out. And the Reaper's also gonna be, okay, so they're just gonna swap everything.
Everything is going to be swapped. This makes a little bit more sense. Perhaps also trying to tease Thailand a little bit with showing the Reinhardt, their heads a little bit, but this is still a, a very standard comp that they have at the end of the day with the Genji coming through. So it's dive, Genji, Sombra. See how reinforced Winston pans out when he's trying to coordinate these attacks onto the high ground, controlling where Patipon has line of sight.
All right, well, they see the Genji shifting around into the back. Sharp as well will be here. They're checking regularly, trying to get those hits in, take him out of that invisibility. They have a rejoin here onto the treehouse. Comes in. A lot of damage coming through. Reinforced going to be falling down. Widow dropping on the low ground. Will be able to stay alive. Massive spray coming out of Sharp, trying to break Mickey out of that mech. Will not be able to do so. Seems like that's just going to be Sweden halted here on the first push.
Yeah, and they control the high ground still. Sleep here is going to be, not too significant, but it's a nice grab.
Oh, they get so close to actually picking up the Widowmaker, but it's just not going to happen. They can't get Saiyajin God either. The Junkrat hits. Keeps coming through, but reinforced with a rejoin. Takes down 2.
Yeah, but he's caught in the trap, and that's going to cost him his life. Just one, nice jump in there, built up a lot of ult charge, but does get taken out in the end. I mean, they weren't going to flip the point there, but Thailand actually swapping Titawat onto this Wrecking Ball after losing control of the high ground. So small victories here for Sweden. Now they've got the Dragon Blade, so this could be the big push. Sharp has built that EMP just from hiding and farming it up. This is Sweden's best opportunity to grab a great time bank here on point A.
For the snipe there, on to the supports. Manages to get one tag in on the Ludi, but cannot take him down. Wrapping back up onto the high ground here. Titawat plays forward with the Wrecking Ball. Spotting him out.
Riptire.
Riptire's going to get called, as you say. Saiyajin God looking for an opportunity. Takes a bit of damage. Just going to get taken down. Pops that one out, but just doesn't have anybody in range.
They know the...
A bit too itchy on that trigger finger as the EMP comes in from
Blade.
Sharp. Blades out from Tvik. Managed to find one as the Widow falls. He's looking for more, and he's got to get him. 2 more added onto the list. Rocket and Saiyajin God both go down, and that should be Sweden breaking open this point, getting the cap.
When you know a Riptire's been used and you're up against Ana and the Mercy, there's no Transcendence, you have no counter support ultimate against you. Once the Riptire is gone, the only thing you're worried about, and I mean the only thing, is a sleep dart shutting you down. EMP guarantees that can't even happen. And I think using that Riptire that early actually was a mistake from Thailand. They used it so aggressively before Sweden even committed to the fight, so it just gave Sweden that free ability to use that big blade push. Now Tvik switching over to the Reaper again. Did not work out yesterday. Let's see how it pans out in this point B push.
Yeah, Thailand also going to be moving over to that triple tank that we saw yesterday. With Mickey going over onto the Winston. Speaking of him, he's going to find the first kill here as Liddy goes down, but now it's going to be Patipon and Pani's both going down. Falling low, has the minefield now available. The primal rage comes in from Reinforced. He's going to stomp him out of the fight. Saiyajin God going to be eliminated, taken out of that mech and killed. Tvik still just spamming away. Gets the hits in onto Rocket. The point now going to be opening here for Sweden as they start ticking this one up. First one nearly coming through. Rejoin in as the minefield gets dropped out. Titawat rolling through, looking for a pile driver, but not going to get too much damage in. As I say that, Madison will get popped out. This is going to be a slight little win here for the side of Thailand as they maintain control. And Sweden is going to go ahead and peel back.
Yeah, so unfortunate they're not even able to get a single tick despite winning that fight. And Tvik on this Reaper, he breaks those tanks so fast when they're coming into stagger. There was the minefield that actually, ironically, prevented him from really getting in there and doing further damage. As, you know, Reaper, you have to be very close range, so the approach is tough. Look at where Sharp is right now, just setting up for that potential EMP. If Thailand tries to play aggressively forward, it could cost them big. They need to be careful. Patipon, undetected at the moment, so looking to do the same thing. Oh, seen now.
Got spotted for the moment.
They don't
haven't
physically
taken
see
him
him,
out.
though, yeah.
Oh, now he's sprinting in straight in front. Gets one shot from the back. EMP comes down. Counter hack coming out. Mickey's going to be the first one to fall as the Death Blossom comes through. Now it's going to pop up there on the Saiyajin God. He will also go down. One more tank remaining here from the side of Thailand. Titawat onto that Wrecking Ball, trying to keep the hopes alive of this defense, but he doesn't last very long either. The first tick this time just comes through. They managed to lock that one in. As Thailand tries to turn this one around, even with that primal rage though, Mickey absolutely getting ripped apart by this Reaper.
That's a nice hit, though.
Just finds one. The Lucio going to be eliminated. The Sober goes so low. Manages to make his way out of there. Thailand fighting through the nails, trying to get this one clause back. 82.7% is what's gained for Sweden, but with the kills coming through, I don't know if they're going to be able to stay forward because this fight seems like they will just kite back, try to regroup and come back in for one final push.
Yep. It was really close to another cap there. Tavik being pushed away, though, by Potifon. This opened up, though, because Sharp had by far the better EMP, by far the more reactive EMP. Sweden now holds a massive ult advantage. Malatin's going to, of course, have to lose his and swap to get his D.Va mech back. But otherwise, this is a great push. They have the nano boost as well and EMP. So this used to be called the Talon comp because you EMP into, you know, the Death Blossom. Let's see if that's going to work out this time.
EMP going to be coming in. Still don't have the Death Blossom built up. It doesn't really matter. Tavik still finding success as he takes down Rocket. Ball going to be diving in the back. You know what? Gets that big shield coming out from the adaptive. Tavik falling low. 2 HP goes down right as Mickey stomps him out. Legend God also going to pick one up onto Jumsayan. You know what? Will be the only one falling on the side of Thailand, but I think they'll be pretty happy with that. He could rejoin if there was an extended fight very quickly, and Sweden already just dipping out of it.
And it's not really a big concern for Sweden right now, as they still have a decent time bank. Sharp, despite using that EMP in the last fight, has half of a next one ready. So as Majin loses ult charge again, the stagger, etc. But the same fight they almost had perfectly the last time. They could do it again if Sharp builds this EMP. It's so powerful they didn't waste any of the long building ultimates they got. Only the EMP was take so long, or too quick to build.
Well, that is going to be the nano boost going in on Tavik with a sound barrier on top of that one. As it goes in, it gets a kill in on a Rocket as the rally is available. They're not going to have that for the fight, which means that everybody on the side of Thailand is going to be dropping like flies. One going down, Sajin God taken out of the mech. The team wipe comes through. The cap is there. Sweden, they get the completion here on Temple of Anubis.
They took a small risk in not using the EMP, not waiting for that, just tossing in the nano boost and committing to that Death Blossom. The first good one Tavik really has had in this qualifier. He's had a lot of rough times on the Reaper. He's had a pretty tough tournament in general, I feel, but that was well executed. They knew where the Brigitte was. They knew they could just burst through those two heroes there, given the positioning of Thailand's defensive setup, how those heroes were isolated. So the nano boost was well timed there. Had it been defended, had he been shut down there, would have been really unfortunate for Sweden because they would have lost the ultimates that take a long time to build. But they took a risk. It was pretty calculated. They knew the positioning of Thailand's defenders there and actually gain a larger time bank as a result. So not waiting for Sharp to build the last part of that EMP. Now we'll see how they want to operate on the defense. Looks like pretty similar. Going to be running that Orisa and the Widowmaker. And on the attack for Thailand, this is why they chose this map. They're going to be running Saiyajin Gods, Genji. I don't know if we'll end up seeing Potifon on this Widow they're showing right now. I think it's pretty unlikely. Very difficult to pull that one off against the Orisa Widow. And I think it's very likely he'll go into the Sombra. We'll check what Sweden is running. And then probably we'll be seeing that Sombra coming out once again.
More than likely. Every now and then we do see people trying to go for that aggressive Widowmaker here on Temple of Anubis, but we'll see what's going to happen.
I mean,
Sharp has been very good with the Widow.
And so has Potifon. These are two great Widow players. It's just that when you have two fantastic Widow players and who are very similar in mechanical skill, the Widow who has the high ground and a Orisa barrier and a Junkrat for peel is usually going to be the one who gets the better exchange, right? So
it'd make it that much more impressive for Thailand if they can pull it off with their own Widowmaker. We'll see.
Well, they're sticking with this.
The task. So they're scouting with the D.Va for the moment.
Okay.
He goes up into the air as they push over into the spawn room.
Maybe trying to bust this with Bastion.
Whoa.
Symmetra. Okay, so Portal going to be used here to get Bastion into position to do burst damage. This is insane. This can be very, very strong if Sweden doesn't realize how to counter it. They're going to have to very quickly pull him away off the high ground.
Off one of the high ground, he's going to start beaming through. Get those turrets up there.
Okay, he's got
waiting. The Bastion going to be spamming away, trying to force them back. Barrier just going to keep getting broken here as he can just damage boost up. Now teleport forward. Hop, skipping and jumping their way, but oh no, it's all going to fall apart. Chips shuts it down.
Very well placed bio grenade there. They knocked the portal out.
Oh, we're still in this. We're still in this. Norris comes in from Rocket.
Yeah.
Cutting back around the side. The ult drags him back out. He's healed up. Doesn't have much to the configuration tank. Now going to be postured forward. Has his own barrier. Falls low. Almost gets taken down again.
Sharp goes down to
he's done fine. Sharp.
That's a big pick.
There is not a res available here for Sweden. This is an opportunity for Thailand.
The problem.
Pushing forward, teleporter coming down, they're jumping over.
The
They
flank.
jump to the side, they got the flank, but it's still gonna be Tvik. Knocking him down. Mickey made it to the fine one. His chips will get
Tino's
taken
on
out,
the
but
point.
Tvik
Tino's on
does
the
get
point.
Rocket. He's in onto the point, but they're finally contesting this one. We have 2 down here, 2 tanks. With Ludi and Manton trying to keep this one contested. They almost get the tick, but it's not going to happen. Oh, Thailand, this is tragic, but I love you so much for trying it.
It was a really good idea in theory, but the problem with this comp is halt is the counter. Reinforce had such good halts there to pull everyone out of their fortified positions, despite the fact that Saiyajin God was trying to absorb those, which he did a few times. But the other counter is that Junkrat is just going to have mines on top of the portal. Once this portal is seen, there's only one way out of the portal, and when you're ready to shut that down, you're going to have a bad time. They're going to try it again here, and, you know, here comes the first one. It's a leapfrog strategy.
Yeah, up to the top, you know what, gets tagged up quite a bit. Almost goes down.
And then they're going to want to do it a second time, just like we saw previously, but now Sweden's even better set up, more split to deal with this than they were before. Here's that second portal.
Yep. Move over onto the mid round. Bonnie's still behind. There we go. Finally joins in with the rest of the squad. He's going back and forth. He's trying to mess with their minds. Riptire coming down, looking for somebody. 14 HP remaining on this one. Tvik, can he find a target? Rolls it over to the Bastion, and he manages to take him out. But in the meantime, we'll see Tvik get punished by that Diva Bomb coming out of Saiyajin God. But he's still down onto the low ground. Configuration tank coming through. Long shots coming out from Potty. Trying to take him out with the barriers, absorbing it. He's like, all right, you know what, guys? It's time to throw in the towel. I'm going back to spawn.
That's when he shows his mechanical skill with the rocket jump towards spawn to get the faster hero swap.
I'm out of here.
He's going to swap. They're going to go into the dive, which is, again, part of why they chose this map. He's going to be running the Tracer in this case, it looks like.
Why do you and I? We're the only ones who have cast this new Symmetra in a professional setting.
Well, I mean, we've seen some weird stuff out there, right, in other regions, but this is, it's not a bad strategy, and it can catch teams off guard, but Sweden reacted so quickly. Reinforce and Tvik in particular to shut this down. They spent a lot of time rebuilding this comp now, so they're losing time. This push does not really have many ultimates to actually grab control, but they're going to have to, you know, grab an early pick, or this isn't going to work.
Yeah, they got to steamroll. They have to try to just go ahead and get that snowball cap in onto B. Should they be able to lock this down? You know what? Getting tagged up quite a bit. That's going to be Potty Pot falling off the bat. M10 picks up the kill.
And Sharp has total control of this choke. There's no way in or out for Thailand. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Bodyvon swapping over to the Genji, but it's so late. They're going to have to buy time for him to get back to the point in the first place.
He's going to get way over onto the side here, onto the low ground. He's going to be opening things up. Transcendence down onto the low ground. Joining in with the rest of his squad. Gets popped back up. Riptire going to be coming through. Managed to find Rocket. Was looking for Mickey. Gets the Mercy by accident. That's going to be a happy little accident there. As Buddy and Kidwat also go down. Saiyajin God manages to claw one back here as Sharp will be eliminated. But that's about all she wrote. Thailand. The team wipe comes through. Sweden going to be moving up 2-1.
The Bastion attempt here for Thailand does not work out. Falls flat. It's very exciting to watch. The, you know, leapfrog one step onto the other to break down that barrier, do that burst damage. You put unlimited damage in a place where it's not supposed to be. That's the idea. You know, the weakness of Bastion is that he's a slow-moving hero with no mobility options. That's why he's called a defender in-game, and he simply roots himself in one place, does massive damage. When Symmetra got teleporters, she kind of cheats that system because that damage is then placed somewhere instantly where it was not supposed to be when Bastion was designed. But if you know where the teleporter is going to be placed, you can halt those members, disrupt their positioning. You can then hit them with concussive mines and AoE damage, which is exactly what Tvik did. And now Sweden keeps the hope alive. They're now 2-1. Another win here would actually get them that +3 map score that they need. They're not going to get the full 4-0, but or +2, excuse me, with the 3-1 there. Not the 4 maps they were looking for, but still the second best thing you can grab in a win. And it's just one win of 2 they will need to even then hope that the rest of the standings go their way to go to BlizzCon.
Yeah, so one more map, take down Thailand, then you have to be worried about Denmark, which is probably the team that you were preparing mostly for here today on the final day of the group stage. But we're going to be moving over to Escort. Again, Thailand's map selection going to be coming through. Not sure where they're going to be taking us. You know, do you want to stray away from things like Rialto, which have been very prevalent? at this event because it's so good for Sweden? The answer's going to be no.
Yeah, well, they want to run this into one of the best teams that we've seen on Rialto so far in this tournament. So, you know, Thailand has been trying to do things that are a little bit non-meta in this series, shall we say?
Yeah, just a little bit. But Escort, it's going to be a little bit different. You know, it's similar to Hybrid, but without the control point. There's just a, you know what? I'll just let the video take it away.
This is Escort. Two teams face off as either defenders or attackers. This is the payload. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to escort the payload along a set path containing 3 checkpoints. The payload only moves forward when an attacker stands near it. Defenders can delay the payload's movement by standing nearby at the same time. To get moving again, attackers must clear away the defenders by force. Every time the payload reaches a checkpoint, the attackers score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. If even one attacker is near the payload when the clock runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until the attackers are either cleared off the payload or they gain more time by reaching a checkpoint. The round ends when the payload reaches the destination or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points and escorts the payload farthest wins.
And here we are on Rialto yet again. And you know, we joke about it backstage, kind of, you know, on an off-broadcast joke, poking fun at ZP, because while we were interviewing all of the teams, he asked every single one of them what their thoughts were on Rialto.
I'm surprised he didn't ask about Horizon Lunar Colony, for example, but, you know, I was curious about the Rialto one.
But we're seeing a lot of it, so I guess that his question did pay off. Maybe he should have asked about Temple of Anubis as well.
Yeah.
Because they've been very, very prevalent.
Maybe a little bit of King's Row, perhaps. You know, that would have been great. Numbani, you know, more popular than I would have expected going into this tournament. So Thailand has defense first here, and they're running what you would expect to see, with the Mercy being so, like, necessary, basically, with this comp on this map because of res. And what Sweden will do, of course, is scout this out. And Monaton currently showing Roadhog can work very well on this map, especially if your opponent is not expecting it. But you know what? It's just teasing. It's going to go back to the more normal D.Va. Now, Sharp can do a lot here. If you get the flank, we're going to see the grenade here.
Seems to be sticking with it for now, as they try to spot out the rest of the composition here from Thailand.
Grenade a little short on that one.
It was, oh. Okay, well, the shot's good here. Bodyfont finds Chips, takes him down. But yeah, the grenade not quite there, but it's okay. The accuracy on the Widowmaker a bit better.
Yeah. Oh, Sharp actually going to be swapping over to the Zarya. Doesn't get that opening pick, the opening flank he was looking for. Going to cost him a little bit of ult charge, but the cart is rolling. Bodyfont, you can see here, just looking for the back
way,
flank.
yeah, wrapping around the back. He's got to catch up here as the fight is already taken to his squad. Just up in front of point A. Kidwat falling low. Down to about half HP as the shots start coming through from Potty. And he's falling low. Rocket as well. Nearly going down. They will be able to pick up both supports on this push. Huge win here for Team Sweden. Reinforced can't turn around, can't get that barrier up in time. And now Potty, he's in such a great spot. Trying to turn this one on its head.
Yeah, he's got full
line of sight. Out of that max. For the shot, gets the tag into the back here. Onto Ludi. Nearly finishes him off. Quite get the job done. And then rejoining, coming in from behind. Rolls him down, topside didn't got out of that mech. Potty's just going to be shifting around.
Now I think Reinforce, now that he's rejoined the squad with this Shatter, can really turn this fight. Here it comes, he gets the
Tosses this one down. It's going to be Kidwat taken out here at the start. Coalescence is going to be invested as well from Chips. Everybody topped up, and that is going to be the point A take you would expect. Rocket pushes forward. I have to say, you know, maybe I'll get the res if I do it, buys a little bit of time. It's not going to happen. And Seisen God, I'm expecting a swap, but if not, then a very questionable something.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Even if you're going to swap, okay. You might want to just swap instead of doing that. But because you bought like about 2 seconds, and he is, you know, they're going to put Bodyfont on it instead. So, you know, questionable decision making there, unfortunately, for Thailand. They do have this nano they can use to get Titawat into position.
Pushing forward. Oh, just kind of curved that one right around the barrier. Reinforced. Not quite in position, but Manton is picking up the pieces, however. Finds two. Titawat and Rocket both going down. Now it's going to be chipped and reinforced. Also falling. This is an all-out brawl. Potibot with the Zarya picking up some kills. Charging forward. Over onto the cart.
And they will
manage to clean this one up, and now they have control.
They will grab control. The nano well timed there from Panties. Titawat gets that angle there, just using the speed boost from Rocket to get past Reinforce's barriers, kind of curving it around. It almost feels like, as you say, just walking through that barrier. Very tough bridge to approach now for Sweden. Stun comes through.
Yep. Sorry, Bubble, however. Now throwing down the Shatter. Shield is up in time. Not going to be getting much, and now he's just going to get locked up. The sound barrier comes in. Helps to keep him alive. Rocket playing forward, getting jumped on, boops him back, trying to escape. Seems like he might just get away with his life.
He does escape.
So far onto the Brigidas is really going to be the only casualties that we see on either side. Now Sharp has that Graviton Surge ready to go. Waiting for a moment to use it.
Great angle here.
Yeah.
Gets a lot of them.
One coming out there from Body. Sharp still now tossing out his. Titawat going to be locked up. The pin comes in. They manage to take him down. Playing very far forward here is Sajid God. He'll go for a quick dip there in the river, and Sweden can start pushing forward again.
What's nice for Thailand is if they run over this point real quick with that speed boost, they may be able to just get the big contest here with the ult advantage that they're holding. The bad news is that it's not as good of an ult advantage as they would have liked. Mickey just sticking on this cart. There's the Shatter.
Okay, Shatter coming in, but will we see the follow-up kills? So far the answer is going to be no. Bomb a bit late off the back of the Shatter, but they still managed to find the Lucio. Answering one out from Manathan, looking for a pick, but not going to happen. And Mickey manages to get rid of that baby Diva before he can get back into the suit.
Diva, you know, has that massive stack of armor. Now the rally armor as well. And
oh dear.
Yeah, Reinforce going to get slept charged. And that will be a pick and a stagger. Taken out here. And Sweden falls back down after what was a great initial fight there off of Sharp's grab. He's got another one now, built it in that extended fight, but Thailand still has all these tools. It's such a long run back for Sweden right now as well. They lose a ton of time every time they get reset. Reinforce going to try to take a different angle for the Shatter here, looping around the right side.
Pushing up indoors here.
They've been spotted.
Drop down straight onto the card. It would seem for an angle here. Over to the side, Reinforce, holding the Shatter. See how fat it's going to be. Graviton Surge going to be tossed out by either side. Sound barriers in from Thailand as they try to stay alive in this fight. Swings coming down. Titawat going to be dropping his hammer. Reinforce not finding an opportunity for his own. Will get taken out. As it is just the killing fields here. Thailand is picking them apart.
And even though the coalescence was well timed there from Chips and it was hitting everyone in that fight, Penny's hit a massive bio grenade, so no heals were coming through. Massive plays out of this fantastic Ana player, just shutting Sweden down here. Reinforce holds this. Shatter, it has to be a big one.
110 remaining, the bomb coming into the back, looking for some picks, not going to be finding him, but Reinforce.
He's down.
Dead. They cut him off with that self-destruct, so no one able to join in with him to keep him alive.
And we're watching Rocket's first-person view here because he has the ability to disrupt every single push Sweden is doing with a right click to knock them off the bridge. That's why controlling this bridge is so powerful for Thailand. So you have to be so careful even walking across this bridge to even get the potential Shatter. Here's Rocket hiding again, looking for it.
Yeah, he's waiting for his moment. Speed boost coming through, looking for the hit. Gets a couple people, but they're not going to be ending up in the canal. Titawat going to be going down, and Reinforce going to be traded out. So no Earth Shatter is going to be in this fight, but it's still looking to go the way of Sweden here as they keep pushing forward. Will not adhere, will not go down. They make their way over to the cart with 25 seconds remaining.
Yep, it's going to be one last contest potentially here for Thailand. The problem is Rocket was killed by that boop. Ludi's actually on the chase here. If Rocket can tag that point, they can look for one more team fight. They have the ult advantage. Okay, Titawat trying to get in there. The Shatter is their biggest asset right now. Mickey on that high ground. Cart contest is all they want to fight for.
Big Graviton Surge coming out. Truck cars on that one, and Manathan's going to be the first with the fall. The bomb comes out. Titawat will go down. No chance to use that Earth Shatter, and now Sweden themselves the second lease on life as they get ready to push in on to point B. Get a little bit more time here in the bank, a minute and a half to try to finish on Rialto.
Really good plays by Sharp. The angle there was careful. There's no way that it could be absorbed by Saiyajin God, and they made sure that Titawat was never able to get Shatter advantage with that Graviton, so that's how they were able to turn this fight, because Thailand had positional advantage until that moment. Reinforce, because of this, gets to hold on to his own Earth Shatter here too. So even though it's a small time make, this is still an opportunity for Sweden to get completion.
Shatter coming down, catches a couple members with a follow-up. Quite there yet. T1 falling below half. Can't push forward, can't go for a pin. Hearing that transcendence coming out from Chip Zion. Trying to get everybody topped up. The bomb tossed in, not going to find anything, but back into the mech. Resurgent God. Pin comes out, Manten's going to get popped out. Very deep in, however, is Mickey, and he's going to be eliminated. The barrier comes up. He's still going to be getting clipped just before that one happens.
They grab
one, fire strike in, rocket goes down, T1, Patties, all going to be falling. Thailand suffering heavy losses.
And now Sweden has that rally armor reinforced, playing so far forward, trying to get another shatter, trying to keep them out of this point. Such a veteran Reinhardt pro gamer right here. He set that shatter up right past the barrier, look for the follow-up fight. They have all the tools now to close this out. The only thing they really have to worry about is that grab coming out from Potty, but even if they get grabbed, they have that armor. So this is the scariest part here for Thailand. They have to make sure that connects. Nano onto Tina.
Get locked up, gonna go
There's
low.
that grab.
That's gonna be the grab coming through. One gonna be falling to Nick. Going down now, reinforced. The sound barrier's in from Thailand. Rocket keeping everybody alive as T1 just swings away to win. Shatter locks down a few. Bomb comes in from Sergeant God. Gets rid of two of them. And that should be it. OT gonna be taken away as Thailand charges forward. They deny little away from Sweden, and now they just need to push all the way to the finish line to extend us to a Game 5.
I feel like in these really high-stress moments, the grabs have been good on both sides. But when we see the follow-ups for the grabs, it's either reinforces hitting big swings and big fire strikes, or nothing really happens on the side of the follow-ups here. Here's that going to be that shot I was talking about. That's the kind of understanding that is at the highest level of Reinhardt, just knowing where he was behind that barrier, leads into these big fire strikes. So excellent replay to take a look at here of reinforces mechanical skill. It's the follow-ups for the grabs, though, for Thailand with bio grenades that have been really impressive to see, because sometimes you hit a six-man grab, but in these comps, there's not a lot of burst damage, not a lot of follow-up. It doesn't matter that you grabbed everyone if you can't kill them. So having moments like the one we just saw where Reinforce is in position to smack them all down, hit those fire strikes, that's important. But when you hit a bio grenade, it does a decent amount of AoE damage, but the more important part is it denies healing. They've been able to deny so many of Chips' coalescences, for example. And I think that when you compare what the Ana does versus the Moira, because that's the difference really here between these two teams as to what they're running. Sure, Moira gives more sustain with her left-click healing than Ana ever can, even if she's trying to if she had a macro to just constantly fire, it wouldn't be enough, because it only heals one target. So the bio grenades, the heal denials, though, that's what's winning Thailand some of these fights. So it's really cool to see kind of a difference in stylistic understanding of composition here between these two teams. We'll see if Thailand continues to run that on the defense, because for right now, we see that is not the case. And another Symmetra is out on the table. Oh, yeah, what am I saying? I just got confused by the UI. They're actually going to be on the attack, and it's going to be that spawn camp coming out here for Sweden. Scandinavian standoff.
Yep, that's going to be the pin coming through, matching. It's going to be hitting the ground. And he will be the first one to die. Reinforced already almost with an Earth Shatter. T1's at 22%. Reinforced, he is hungry for this win.
Oh, it's, you know, Fraggy style. You get that big fire strike in the swing, and you're at that shatter right away. Now that you can't come out of this doorway without the threat of that shatter.
It's ready. Sorry, bubble going to be used. Oh, but the shield comes up in time, and it might not matter. Reinforced, though, however, goes in for the pin. He will get taken down, so this could be quite costly unless he can keep winning the fight. And he's going to be taken out again here. Sergeant God gets knocked out of the mech, eliminated. We'll be able to find one here as the pick goes down. Thailand, they tooth and nail, trying to grind this one back. Will get taken out. Put it up here. Trying to get the healing coming through to keep them sustained on this cart, but they buy a little bit of time, but in the end, Thailand will be able to get rolling.
And this is not too bad for Sweden. They did buy some time. They built up a Graviton Surge, and, you know, they could just set up now for the greater defense here, the more standard defense. Pennies with some good bios to control that. Most teams try to go Pharah against this and get out of a different exit and then go around and do that damage from above. But Thailand just tried to use, again, bio grenades to win the longer trades, and they have the faster runbacks. So barrier is available here.
The shatter.
Yes.
The block. For an opportunity, finds it as the shield bash comes in and Reinforced is going to be dropping. Sharp getting taken out off the back end of that pin, and this is just going to be a wipe coming through here in favor of Thailand. Menton taken out of the mech. Ludi not going to be able to escape. They hound him down to get the kills, and that's pretty much going to be point A locked in for Thailand.
Very nice flank there from Titawat. He's been really good at finding these flanking angles, and the setups given to him by Thailand's positioning makes it all the easier. So Rocky gets to hold on to that sound barrier.
All right, well, one final attempt here to stop this one. Sweden charges forward, but Nick is going to be the first casualty as the sound barriers come down from both sides. An all-out brawl over the cart. Bomb up into the air, looking for a pick, and he's going to get 2 of them. Nick gets 3 as Manton gets taken out of the mech. Another wipe coming in. Thailand will not back down.
I love him chasing Sharp into the water there as well at the end, setting up for a very, very great time bank heading towards B. They were able to fight this with that combo without actually having to deal with the choke point AoE ultimates that Reinforced and Sharp had. They just kind of completely nullified that. Panties is really making such a big impact with these bio grenades, and his positioning has been good. No one's been able to catch him. They're just going to drop down the low ground now, wait for this corner. They have the shatter. The Reinforcers, be careful with that barrier angle.
Running their way back, the bomb not going to be getting a pick. Graviton Surge coming through, already 2 going to be going down into some boards. Titawat can just hold on to this shatter for days, doesn't have to use it. Great ult efficiency coming through here from Thailand.
Oh, he's definitely gold damage in this game. He had another massive fire strike onto that choke, and that's what you got to do. He was so ready. It's like he launched a fire strike before the grab even came through, lines him up like bowling pins. Now he's got the flank. They don't know where he is. Gonna get that backdoor shatter potentially.
Chip's not noticed?
I don't think so.
Did he not notice? Shatter comes down, manages to find 1. Pin coming out, will rejoin over by the cart as he pushes Manton with him. Well, will not be able to get the palm out on that mech, however, so the flank actually going to be costing Thailand more than gains here. Titawat will get 1 on the Reinforced, but the cleanup is there. Thailand lose control over the cart after a very cheeky play by Titawat.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt, but the execution there, you know, leaves a little bit to be desired as Spottypon's just going to try to grab a few more percentages with right clicks. Rejoins his team now. Sweden has this advantage. This is the toughest part of Rialto, where you have to cross the bridge repeatedly. This is where Sweden was halted for a long time. And they do get across the bridge for free, actually. Sweden taking a more defensive posture, not actually contesting on the bridge. They have that armor from the previous rally. As Thailand slowly comes around the corner. They know there's no shatter. They know Titawat used that in the last fight.
Coming down, grab locked up here. Falling low, pins coming in. Gonna be going out yet, but he drops the shield and will get popped. Manton finding that one. Bit of a lucky circumstance for him to get the kill.
Yeah, there was no way he could cover everybody. It may have just have been that he knew that that was a Dunzo fight and just wanted to actually respawn, because that was the worst time to drop shield if he was trying to live there. But I don't know if he wanted to, because the fight was, I think, lost by that bomb. Just wanted to reset here. The problem is they don't have great tools to cross this bridge, and this time Sweden's contesting the bridge. Really looking for those boots, doesn't get the knockoff.
Gets taken low here.
But a huge shatter
coming down. That's going to be 4 members getting locked up. Hottie, Titawat, and Nikki all going to be falling. Reinforced gets panties with a fire strike. Thailand held at bay, 1:25 on the clock. Still need to get through B.
This is looking great for Sweden now. They control the bridge. They have more vision than Thailand. Thailand always has to cautiously approach. They know they could get knocked off the bridge, support ultimate advantage, etc., etc. Ludi looking for it again. Doesn't get it. But Titawat goes in early. He's alone. He's isolated.
Yeah, he's trying to get a panic here, trying to get back over to his squad, but Chips on the high ground throws orbs in the faces, taking him down. Rocket as well going to be eliminated. The right click coming out of Ludi, gets rid of him. Menton going to be the only one really suffering here on the side of Sweden, but even then, he's still alive. They're looking to steal and heal here. As the grab comes down, 100 energy here onto Sharp. Kill spill for Sweden. They want to close it out.
So Thailand's falling apart in terms of coordination. The first charge from Titawat was trying to get a flanking shatter. He used the shatter there, then Thailand used everything else they had to try to fight even without him. The shatter didn't hit anybody, and then they were just trading poorly with ultimates. Now Sweden has a massive advantage yet again. They need to be coordinated. That stagger kill on the Titawat wants so much more time for Sweden. This could be the final fight of this series.
Almost gets it there, but it's going to be onto the Diva. Let's go ahead and get their way back in onto the high ground. Reinforced, holding the shatter. Can he find another big one? He's waiting. He almost gets pooped off. Makes his way back in. Nick's going to be the first one to fall here. Go back into the big view. Sides and Dodger get knocked out of the Mega Transcendence here from Jim Zion. That's going to be that grab coming in on top of the Shatter. Sharp finds two. To put Thailand into grave here. Stop their hopes and keep Sweden's alive for BlizzCon. Need this win, need every single map. Going to a Game 5 is certainly not something that they want. Sharp pushes back in, gets stunned up. Thailand still keeping this contested, still keeping that overtime rolling. But Manson comes in, takes down Mickey. Panties is going to die again. Sweden in control. Rocket will fall. Tidawat trying to get close enough, but he just won't be able to make it in time. Sweden are able to get the victory here on Rialto. They close this out, a 3-1 win over Thailand.
And this will give them an opportunity, if they are able to defeat Denmark, to go to BlizzCon. It wasn't an easy fight against Thailand, perhaps a bit tougher than they expected, but they do take it in the end with a 3-1 victory. Good coordination on Rialto, playing around reinforces, aggressive positioning to get those Earth Shatters. And I loved how they played two different styles on the bridge. The first time when they knew Thailand had ult advantage, they played far back, trying to force them to play into Sweden's hands. Worked out perfectly. Second time that they started to clash, they went onto the bridge itself to contest, with Ludi disrupting the positioning there of Tidawat with those right clicks from the Lucio. Just really good all-around play from Team Sweden on one of their better maps. So looked a bit shaky there after how Hollywood started, and after we had our first control map, Lijiang, go 100-0 twice against them. But Sweden still got a shot. They still have an opportunity to go to the big stage, to go to the BlizzCon stage. We'll see if they can continue to win.
Yeah, they're keeping the hopes alive, but still one more big game that they have to win. And then they still have to hope about, the proper results coming through from the rest of the matches that happen here today. But guys, let's go ahead and throw over to Mika, who's on the floor, standing by with Manathin for an interview.
Thanks, guys. We got Manison here from Team Sweden. Congrats on your win, by the way. Now, yesterday, Reinforce was talking to Zoe and said that you guys were prepping hard for your match against Thailand. Can you give us a little insight on what you guys were doing?
I mean, we kind of knew what maps they were going to pick, and they're very similar to our picks, like King's Row and Anubis for each other, so we prepared very hard. We knew what they were going to play. I mean, they brought out the Bash in Symmetra, which was pretty fun, but I think we adapted well, so it was fun to play.
Congratulations, you did adapt very well. And next is your match against Denmark. Are you worried, or is this confidence boosting you, or are you really buckling down and focusing?
We're just having a lot of fun playing right now, so I'm excited to play them. It's going to be fun. They obviously have very good comp with Shax playing on McCree, so going to see how we're going to counter it, but it's going to be a good game.
I always like hearing that players are having fun. That makes my heart warm, and it makes everybody else at home have a good time. So thank you so much for talking to me, and we're going to throw it back to Wolf and Achilleos to break down all the awesome stuff that we just saw.
Very much, Mika, and I mean, awesome stuff indeed. This was a very fun series. So scrappiness throughout, especially on Hollywood, going for the spawn camp there from Sweden, but also shifting over to Temple of Anubis, seeing that Symmetra Bastion comp come through. They tried it. It was, it was creative. It was very creative, and I kind of wished that they pulled it off, but unfortunately,
well, I mean, it was fun to see.
You can rest easy for your solo queue because it didn't work.
It didn't work. It was fun to see, and for me, I actually personally enjoyed that Sweden didn't get caught off guard by it, because it would have been such a
good adaptability.
Yeah, it showed that even though it's a very powerful comp, and you could see in those moments how strong it was, that there are answers. So I think it was like since it's such a rare comp, I think for the fans watching at home, and of course here in the venue, it was a kind of a learning experience for everybody. Something that you can take away if that does happen to you in your solo queue games. Get those minds ready, pull away with the Orisa halts. We're going to take a look at kind of how this match, these 4 maps, broke down and some of the highlights of the game, starting on Lijiang, where it was the 100-0 twice, as they just could not crack the surface here, versus the more dive-oriented comps coming out from Thailand.
Yeah, it was absolutely great. I mean, Honeyman, especially with his Doomfist, was just so very effective. I think got to see the Space Jam come through off the back of the Graviton Surge, but yeah, it was just absolutely incredible for them. A great start that really kind of struck terror into the hearts of the Swedish fans and the players.
Yeah, when on Control, when it was a matchup between Tavik and Vicky, or Tavik and Hadi, Tavik lost big time, but when we went into the bigger maps here, the coordination for Sweden was just superior. They ran the better comps, they tricked Thailand a few times, they spawn camped on Hollywood, had that backdoor, and there were some good moments for Thailand, but they went against the grind of the meta in a lot of ways. That's where you're going to see these Dragon Blades fail. Reinforces charge, phenomenal there. Then we see the Bastion pop in a moment here on this map. Tavik finally found great success with the Reaper on point B. So Anubis ended up being, I think, a redemption story for Team Sweden with the Tavik blade popping off big on the attack. And you can see here just shutting down this Bastion in so many ways, preventing that res there.
Probably, you know, I don't think the res probably would have led to too much, but all the same, really good stuff from the Vic, who has had a slightly lackluster performance leading up until this point. Looks much more back in form here with the Reaper, even the Genji, and the Junkrat coming through. So strong performances here when it's all on the line, able to get across the finish line, get that in overtime.
And reinforce on Rialto just having some great shatters and better positioning, good control of the choke points. Felt like Thailand was trying to be too aggressive at times. Titawat, even though he's a fantastic Reinhardt player, sometimes charged into what he was hoping to do was flank with some of these shatters, but ended up putting himself into a dangerous spot and paid for it with his life. Reinforce having really good follow-up fire strikes after these Gravitons were coming through. And they just maximized more damage. The big impressive thing I think for Thailand was Panny's. His follow-ups for these Gravitons with the big bio-grenade connections was quite impressive to see.
Yeah, really great stuff. I mean, Thailand, it's unfortunate they haven't been able to pick up that win. They still have one more game at the very end of the day in front of the home crowd to try to make that happen. But it's still very entertaining. They're kind of hamming it up for the crowd while still taking things seriously. You know, they're having fun with it. They're being entertaining. But fortunately for them, not happening. For Sweden, however, hope's still alive. Need to take down Denmark in order to try to qualify for BlizzCon. Coming up next, though, it's going to be Spain versus China. Don't go anywhere, guys. More Overwatch on the way.